Have you ever just stopped and wondered why some people who make millions and millions end up with absolutely nothing, while at the same time, other people are quietly building up massive fortunes? Well, today we're going to dive deep into that financial divide, and you'll see it's not really about how much money you make. It's all about the mindsets and habits that separate lasting wealth from, well, complete financial ruin.
Okay, just to set the stage, let's start with a contrast that is just mind-boggling. On one hand, you have a guy who drops 418 crore rupees on an entire island just so his wife can have some privacy. In that exact same world, at the exact same time, 80 crore people have no idea where their next meal is coming from. I mean, it's not just about money, right? These are two completely different realities happening on the same planet.
So you have to ask, what is the real difference here? What separates these two worlds? It's easy to just chalk it up to income, but the truth is actually much, much deeper than that. And honestly, it's way more powerful. It's not about the money you have, it's about the rules you live by when it comes to that money.
So let's get into it. Let's look at the habits of people who aren't just earning a lot, but are actively building and, more importantly, keeping their wealth. You might think it's all about fancy cars and big spending, but you're going to see the reality is often the complete opposite. Okay, take Bollywood star Rajkumar Rao. After a film that grossed 800 crores, he goes and buys a 44 crore rupee apartment. So you'd think, okay, this guy's living a life of non-stop luxury. But no, he's often seen just eating in a normal, ordinary restaurant. No big show. It's a choice, a deliberate one. He's seen what can happen when you're not careful.
And this is a pattern. I mean, check this out. You have two incredibly successful actresses, Janhvi Kapoor and Sara Ali Khan, on a trip, and it is freezing cold. And to save just 6,000 rupees, they decide to stay in a hotel that doesn't have a heater. Now remember, Sara Ali Khan's family fortune is somewhere around 5,000 crore rupees. This has nothing to do with needing the money. It's about a mindset. They actually valued saving that small amount more than their own comfort. It's kind of wild.
And you know what? This mindset seems to run in the family. Sara's grandmother, the amazing Sharmila Tagore, she manages the Patadi Palace. Instead of paying for an expensive whitewash, she apparently just has it cleaned with water to save a little cash. And she's earning rent from film crews shooting there. See, this isn't about being cheap. It's about being disciplined with your money, no matter how much you have coming in.
Okay, now let's flip the coin for a second. While some of the wealthiest people out there are trying to save a few thousand rupees on heaters and paint, get ready for this. A staggering 80% of iPhones in India are bought on credit. Just think about that for a minute. One group is actively avoiding small, unnecessary costs, while another group is literally going into debt for a status symbol. That's the buy now, worry later mindset, right there in action.
So this is it. This is the whole game right here. It's a fundamental change in your priorities. The wealthy mindset says the first slice of every single paycheck belongs to your investments, to your future. You handle your expenses with what's left over. The other mindset, it spends first and then just kind of hopes there's something left to save, which, let's be honest, there rarely is. That one little switch in thinking, it's everything.
But here's the kicker. Making a ton of money is only half the story. It is absolutely no guarantee that you're going to stay wealthy. In fact, history is just littered with these cautionary tales of people who had it all and then lost every single bit of it.
Let me just give you a few quick examples. First up, Satish Kaul, a famous actor who played the powerful Lord Indra in the Mahabharata. I mean, he was a household name.
And then the legendary Meena Kumari. They called her the tragedy queen of Indian cinema, a superstar for more than 30 years. And of course, on the world stage, Mike Tyson, probably the most feared boxer on the entire planet, a guy who earned hundreds of millions of dollars. Three absolute icons at the very top of their game.
All of them made it. They reached the absolute peak of success. And yet, their stories all end in the same tragic way. Satish Kaul couldn't even afford his final hospital bills. Meena Kumari, after a 33-year career as a superstar, died with nothing. And Mike Tyson, who made hundreds of millions, went bankrupt. So what's the connection? It wasn't a lack of talent. It wasn't a lack of income. It was a complete and total lack of financial plan.
So how does this even happen? I mean, these stories are more than just sad. They are a perfect blueprint of exactly what not to do. They show us 5 critical mistakes that can absolutely destroy your financial security. I don't care how much money you earn.
So here they are, the 5 classic blunders. It always starts with this idea that the money will never, ever stop flowing. And that leads you to completely ignore the future, right? No safety net. Then comes the pressure, the need to show off, spending a fortune on luxury stuff. After that, it's usually bad investments made on a whim, and then this This kind of reckless generosity, where you're just giving money away left and right, until one day, there's nothing left. It's a textbook path to ruin.
You know, Warren Buffett said it perfectly. He summed up the danger of that show-off trap with this one line. When you spend money on things you don't need just to impress other people, you're literally setting yourself up for a future where you have to sell the things you desperately do need. It's a simple but brutal truth.
Okay, so we've seen the two completely different paths, right? The disciplined savers and the fallen stars. Understanding all this is step one. But the real question, the one that actually matters, is how do you apply this to your life, starting right now?
This right here is the single most important thing to take away from all of this. It's about completely flipping the script on how you handle your money. The golden rule is so simple. Pay yourself first. You plan for emergencies, you save for your goals, and you invest for your future before you do anything else. Your fun, your desires, that stuff gets funded by whatever is left over, not the other way around. And don't fool yourself, this is not a small problem. That buy now, pay later way of thinking has created a literal mountain of debt. As of June 2024, the outstanding credit card debt in India hit 2.7 lakh crore rupees. I mean, that is a jaw-dropping number, and it's built one impulsive purchase at a time.
You know, if those stories of fallen stars teach us anything, it's that you don't have to be a genius to be financially safe. In fact, a fool with a solid plan can and will beat a genius with no plan every single time. Financial planning isn't about some complex math or predicting the markets. It's just about being prepared for life's curveballs, like a medical emergency, so that one piece of bad luck doesn't completely wipe you out.
So, as we wrap this up, the most important question isn't really about billionaires or bankrupt celebrities. It's about you. When you look at these two paths, the path of discipline and the path of reckless spending, what is the one single habit? It could be big, it could be small, that you're going to change starting today. Because at the end of the day, that decision is the only one that truly matters.